her like she's some kind of huge deal, but she didn't even bother to reply to our letter! Seriously, if she didn't want to come, she could at least let us know.
Oh, really? So, that's how you see me? Oh, don't mind me. I'm just a disgruntled old hag, right? Come on, relax. I'm sure my bark's worse than my bite. Yes, Granny Eatsley. But emphasis on Eatsley, not Granny. You must know this trope from light novels, surely. They use it all the time. The young man who's actually the oldest person in the room. The girl next door who turns out to be a seasoned veteran. The wise sage who looks like a little kid. Oh, wipe that look off your face! You've seriously never seen an older lady that doesn't look her age? Okay, well, don't go thinking it's a trick either. See? I'm barely wearing any makeup. What? How dare you? Don't you know it's rude to ask a lady her age? All right, I was only joking. I didn't mean to chastise anyone. There's really no need to take all this so seriously. If anything, I'm gonna feel awkward if we keep this going. I received Kenichi's letter and was planning to attend this meeting. Since I had already decided to come, I figured there was no need to draft a reply that simply said, "Understood." Besides, just showing up is the most important part. No? But, of course, it's also natural for people to get held up by one thing or another as they're trying to leave the house. It certainly was a bit awkward to see that everyone else had arrived before me. At first, I was thinking of quietly sneaking over, but since you were already here waiting for me, I started to think about how I should phrase my apology, only to hear you all talking smack about me. Anyway, that's the whole story. Honestly, it's not like I owed you an explanation anyway. Anyway, Shilonen, I heard that you require my help in crafting an ancient name. I see. So Mauika has asked you to forge an ancient name for an Outlander. Well, that would be a first. And you've also heard all about Auroron. I must say, he's always been a good kid. I can't see him joining the Fatui of his own volition. He must have been coerced somehow. I suppose I'll just call you Traveler for now. Traveler, come here. Let me take a good look at you. Wealth leads to unending conflicts between people. Yet you alone transcend the value of gold. Baleful thunder and wrathful waves bring terror to mortal hearts. Yet again and again, you've braved them to find new worlds. O weary yet free soul, even the most verdant leaf in the forest will pray for your happiness and safe passage. Those are all the things that I could see in you. You've experienced far more than even most mortals could dream of. You possess the heart of a sincere hero, along with the conviction to lift a torch above your head and walk headlong into the night. Huh? Don't move. There's something here. Shoo! That should do it. You've just returned from the Night Kingdom, so some fragments of souls were still stuck to your body. No need to worry. I've just cleared out the last of them. It's nothing as serious as that. If left unattended, the most it could do is stir up some chaos in your mind, and generally worsen your mood. It was nothing. Shilonen, let's follow your proposal. Once you've brought Auroron back, I'll take you to see the Lord of the Night. Something this important is beyond their jurisdiction. Only the Lord of the Night can decide whether we can grant an ancient name to one who does not hail from our lands. The Lord of the Night is an ancient entity that rules over the entire Night Kingdom, constantly borrowing the power of the sacred flame to combat corrosion from the abyss. Not exactly. It's not so much that one's more powerful than the other. But never mind. That's not important. It would take too much time to explain. Just listen carefully to what I'm about to tell you. The Lord of the Night is currently in a deep slumber, and we can only communicate with its consciousness while in a trance. In other words, in a dream. But I will need to prepare a few more things if we are to hold a ceremony to achieve the state of the trance. I'll make a list. Can any of you get everything for me? All right, now it's time for us to catch that brat and bring him back. I'm sorry I made you wait earlier. It was actually because I decided to swing by Auroron's place to look for clues. He has always lived alone, and I found a broken jar in his house. There was also something off about his phlogiston aphids, which I assume is because their keeper has been gone for quite some time. And interestingly enough, I saw some slash marks in the house that did not match any of our local weapons. My guess is they were left by Snezhnayan arms. But why would they kidnap a kid who just spends his days living in the country and raising aphids? He's only in his 20s. What would they want with him? That's not to say that I believe he's totally innocent, of course. Since he's the only one who was kidnapped out of everyone in Natlan, he must have done something to attract their attention. In any case, we'll get to the bottom of this once we manage to get him back here. I'm truly sorry to put you two through all this trouble with me. But please help me get him back. All right, then let's start by heading to where Auroron was seen last. This is the spot. An eyewitness claimed to have seen Auroron speaking to some Fatui soldiers here. I don't know how much you're willing to believe me, but Auroron really is a good kid. I see no reason why he'd suddenly get involved with a Fatui. I'm convinced that what the witnesses saw was actually the Fatui coercing him, or perhaps trying to extract information. However, I doubt anyone would believe me, given there are no signs of a fight. Auroron? Well, he was left at the side of the road as an infant, and the people of the tribe took him in. You could say that everyone had a hand in raising him. He learned a lot from us, and once he reached adulthood, he built himself a house out in the countryside. He spends most of his days growing vegetables and raising aphids, living off of what he harvests from the garden. He's always been such a good kid. He would even get his friends to deliver whole bags of fresh produce to my place. Oh well, let's keep looking. He can answer all of our questions once we find him. He's been raising phlogiston aphids for a long time, and since they were disturbed, they secreted a special type of phlogiston. We can use that substance to track his movements. Let's follow the phlogiston trail. Oh, right. I forgot your eyes don't naturally perceive such things. Here, give me your hand. How about now? That's right. I used a spell to temporarily transfer a portion of my senses to you. For a short while, you'll be able to see the phlogiston too. It requires a very rare spell that most people aren't adept at. But don't worry, it's a cinch for me. Between the two of you, it seems the Traveler's senses are a bit stronger than Paimon's. When I held your hand just now, I could sense that you've got a great affinity for phlogiston. You're extraordinarily gifted. Anyway, we'll need to use our vision now to track down Auroron. Good luck, you two. What was that? What does she mean by deep and confusing? As far as elderly shamans go, I'd say that I'm already pretty easy to talk to. Is there any other old hag who's as fluent in the language of the youth as me? But is my way of speaking still not trendy enough? I've already tried my best to match their speech patterns, but given the looks on their faces just now, or perhaps I'm still not fashionable enough? But that can't be, right? Don't tell me they're still getting the impression that I'm super old-fashioned. Now that I think about it, It's a good thing I found some helpers this time. Some things are best done with the help of friends. Oh? They appear to be feeling quite confident. Looks like our work will go smoothly. Let's go take a look. That little brat, I swear. I just hope he hasn't gotten himself into any real trouble. Wait. The phlogiston here is a bit odd. Let me see. This is a distress signal for the Masters of the Night Wind. Only someone from our tribe would recognize it. So Auroron was indeed being threatened. We've got to find him. Fast. Leaving such a subtle mark implies that he was trying to be discreet. In other words, he was probably under the Fatui's watch. If they notice us, we can just charge in and fight them to the death. But what if my darling grandson is also there? I can't have him caught in the crossfire. No, I've got to be careful. Otherwise he'd get hit as well. How annoying. No, I've got to stay calm and keep my composure. Wait a second. The phlogiston around here is jumbled up. I can also smell a mix of elements in the air. Pyro, electro, and some other elements as well. It's about time that little brat said something nice about me. There are signs of a struggle here. Judging from what's left on the scene, there must have been a fight. But after that, the factions seem to have gone their separate ways. Both the phlogiston and the elemental traces in the air support that. Given there are 2 signals leading from here, we should split up as well. I'll take this direction, and leave the other one to you. Let's meet up again later. Auroron, what the heck were you doing? It's one thing to trouble me, but now I had to bring other people into this as well. You little brat. Hey, why are you sitting on the ground? Are you okay? Could it have been those leftover remnants from the Night Kingdom? Do you have any itches or pain anywhere? Don't worry, we can take a short break. Sorry, I know I asked for your help. But had I known you were feeling unwell, I wouldn't have taken you on this trip with me. A seasoned traveler must know the importance of not pushing yourself beyond your limit. If you need anything from me, just say the word. In any case, let's take a bit more time to rest now. Need to be more careful next time. All right, let's get ready. I followed my phlogiston trail earlier to a stronghold guarded by soldiers. I have a feeling that Auroron is probably being held inside.
Oh.
Well, I recruited you to be my helper, which means we're in this together. Like the wind and the clouds. We either move as one or not at all. But if you want to make it up to me, then just be sure to fight extra hard when the time comes. Look over there. That's Auroron. So he really was taken by the Fatui. Wow. I'm going to rip that guy's head right off. Are you ready? Let's go kick their butts. On my count. 3, 2, 1! Still trying to resist? You've got no idea who you're up against. Auroron! How many times have I told you? It doesn't work like that. There are a lot of people who look about the same age as me. You can't go around calling everyone Gramps or Granny. Do you think saying all of this is gonna save you from a scolding, Auroron? Haven't I told you 100 times since you were a kid? Heed the 3 warnings. So you do remember, and you just chose to ignore them. I always knew that living on your own was going to get you into trouble sooner or later. But getting kidnapped? That really takes the cake. You won't always be able to rely on other people coming to your rescue, you know. You're just lucky we got here when we did. Or we might be launching another search and rescue operation to find out where they put your severed head. Next time? Oh, good one. You think there'll be a next time after this? Not a chance. They didn't hurt you, did they? Okay, now answer me honestly. Were you the one who helped the captain escape after his battle with the Pyro Archon? So why did you do it? Hey, I'm no ordinary granny. Would they really dare to come after me? And you! Did the gods give you a brain just for you to not use it? Did you really believe everything they said at face value and not stop to think? Thankfully, the Pyro Archon only asked that we find the mysterious individual from the Masters of the Night Wind and didn't slap your name on a wanted poster. Don't think for a second that she doesn't know what's happening. Even if the truth that you see will soon manifest into reality, there is still no need to preemptively panic. Have you forgotten the words that I've taught you? Forget it. We can submit the details of this camp and the defeated Fatui as evidence of your innocence. Let's clean this place up and get back to the city. Auroron, you better remember this lesson well and seriously reflect on your actions. Also, once we return to the city, come to the speaker's chamber with me. I'll need you to explain everything. Now's not the time to be thinking about that. If you do come face to face with the Pyro Archon, the first thing you should do is... Huh? No! You should emphasize that you were not in cahoots with the Fatui! Now that you know Auroron was only trying to protect another member of his tribe, could I ask you to petition the Pyro Archon for her forgiveness? Sure. I'd be happy to do that. I don't have any more time to waste here. Traveler, Paimon, thank you very much for your help. And don't worry, I haven't forgotten about my side of the deal. Once Auroron is settled, I'll go talk to Shilonen and get started on forging an ancient name for you. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. It's as good as done. You can just go twiddle your thumbs or something while you wait for the good news. Bye for now. Come with me, Auroron. We've got to find you a place to stay for the night. Something! Bad news, chump! It's your granny! I knew something was amiss after we were separated. Hidden ceremonial tools, an unconscious traveler. I must say, I'm very curious about what you're up to. How dare you go behind our backs like this, Auroron? Colluding with the Fatui? Really? Oh, here we go again. Cat got your tongue, huh? You really think you can avoid a scolding just by staying quiet? Oh, and now you're talking back. Well, go on then. Explain yourself. What the heck are you up to? You! That's it! Where are my tools? I swear if I don't teach you a lesson right here and now, I'll... Listen well, Auroron. You're only getting out of this now because of the Traveler's plea. This isn't over. You hear me? You're right, Traveler. Let's go. We can discuss this more back in the city. You two keep an eye on Auroron for me, okay? In all my years, I've never had a child cause me so much grief. Do you seriously not see what's at stake here? You've got a head on your shoulders, Auroron. Use it! Why did you help the captain? And I want the truth this time. No answer? Think you're being smart? Then let me ask a different question. What does the captain want? What is his purpose in Natlan? Really? You're just going to stonewall me? Just use your brain for a second. What do you possibly stand to gain by helping the captain? Only endless trouble awaits you and everyone in the tribe. You've always been a good kid. Why would you throw that all away now? If you're worried about something, just talk to me. Granny would much rather we had a conversation instead of constantly clashing like this. Oh? You dare gossip between yourselves instead of listening to me? You... Sorry, Granny. Sorry, Granny. You know what? Fine. I'm perfectly aware that everything I say goes in one ear and out the other. You're all grown up now, so why would you listen to an old hag like me? You say all the right things, but then you go and completely ignore me! Well, if that's how you're going to treat me, you can stop sending Aoife over to my place to deliver your stupid vegetables! I don't need anything from you! That's irrelevant. The point is, he hangs out with this kid, so he must be no good. You kids get to a certain age and suddenly act like you know it all. There's nothing I can say to get through to you. Auroron, if you're still thinking about that so-called duty, then please, just forget about it. The ley lines did not fall to this state because of you. And we've long closed the book on that incident. His voice. Auroron! Where have you gone? Get back here this instant! Auroron! What is this? Powder from plant spores? Is that the trick he used? It's a trick of his. If you grind spores into a powder and spray it in the air, it can be manipulated to create an illusion. He pulled it off flawlessly. He must have put a lot of time into perfecting it. Don't tell me that's how he's been hunting in the fields these days. Oh, couldn't he have picked up something more useful? Little brat. That's it. The next time we meet, I'm definitely going to break his legs. I'm sorry for interrupting your conversation with them earlier. But even if you'd been able to hear them out, there's no guarantee you would have gained anything substantial. Auroron probably did everything he could to get away because he knew I'd get the truth out of him sooner or later. Ah, that brat. I swear. We've got quite a long walk back to the city. Let's take our time. It'll give me a moment to figure out how to explain all this. Do you two have some time? Feeling hungry? How about we get something to eat? Then let's go. We can find somewhere to sit down and talk. Food and drinks are on me. Hey, come on now. You won't even let me take you out for some food and drinks? I just wanted to treat you to a meal. Mora is the least of my concerns. Besides, we're definitely due a meal after all the time we've spent together. Let me get this one. I might be an old hag, but I like to think I'm not completely useless. Don't worry. I'm sure a juicy grilled steak will work wonders. Do you see two people standing by the door? They look like spitting images of each other. Are they twins? Huh? How could that be? I guess my mind isn't as sharp as it used to be. Give me another bottle, boss! Huh? Gossiping about me right in front of my face now, are you, Chonka? Alright, that's enough. Go on now. I'm sure the other customers would like to talk to you as well. There's no need to keep staring at me. I promise I'll keep my alcohol down until I leave. Who's that? You got some gall calling me by my first name. Let me guess. You want to test your skills against Granny Eatsley, don't ya? You chumps come around here, picking fights with me? Well, you know what happens next. You lose, and then run off home to tell everyone about how I'm this big scary bully. It's always the same story. You brat start it. I finish it, and then I end up with the reputation of being some kind of terrible monster among the shamans. I mean, come on. Monster? Me? Really? What did I do to deserve that? Exactly. And while we're at it, I'm not some lazy slacker either. Between meditation, advising the chief, and speaking with the Wyab, I actually have a pretty packed schedule, you know. Oh yeah. And I have to mentor all the new kids. Hey, new kid. Yeah, you. Don't play dumb. Didn't I teach you how to find phlogiston? You see? I know my stuff. I'm a good teacher. You tell him. That's more like it. About dang time someone showed me a little respect. Yeah, Granny's a hard worker, all right. You can always rely on old Granny. Behind this pitch-black curtain, a chapter of hatred reveals itself. Behind the smoke, the lingering smoke. Warning, warning. Red, red, the color of danger, has now arisen within that pair of eyes. Huh? Traveler? Paimon?
What's wrong?
I'm gonna hurl.
Hang on, just keep it in.
Phew. Okay, it's passed. That was a close one. How embarrassing. I'm sorry you had to see me like that. That's never happened before, I swear. I've never thrown up, not once. There's so much that I want to say, but I can't. Please, Paimon, it's not as simple as you think. We've only known each other for a few days, right? What would you think of me if I were to start dumping all of my complaints on you after we've only just met? No, that wasn't my point at all! Seriously, don't you youngsters know anything about shame? I'm talking about shame! I've lived all these years and still can't get rid of it! Surely, you know the feeling too? Huh? Tell me what? So... You heard my... I can't take it anymore! Why do these things happen to me? Hearing me mumble under my breath is one thing, but hearing what I mumble in my own head? That's too much! It's just like when you're rolling on the floor in your pajamas, but you forget to lock the door, and someone bursts in to deliver cabbages and sees the whole thing! It happens to people in general, okay? Doesn't matter if you're 200 years old or 1,000 years old. Everyone rolls around in their pajamas sometimes. I was just picking something generic. Take a walk with me. I have things to share with you.
Looks like...
Well, great view, right? I love coming here by myself. You're making me want to cry. It was an expression, okay? A figure of speech. I'm just... embarrassed. Here you are thanking me. Even after you helped me all this time. Let's just have a casual conversation. It's easiest that way.
Really?
Well, I guess I used to be more of a stickler for the rules. And you're right. I don't usually open up to the people of my tribe like this. I'm just an eccentric old hag to them. That story's been passed down so long. It might as well be true. The kids of my tribe would have a heart attack if they heard you say that. Granny Citlali is a powerful figure, Be careful around her. That's what they'd say. Some are. Others are mad I always come out on top. A few decades like that, and people stop knowing how to deal with you. What about you? Are you scared of me? That's because you're not from my tribe. You don't know how many delusions of grandeur I've destroyed just by existing. I make people realize that no matter how hard they work, they'll never become a living legend like me. Oh, not to brag or anything. Maybe it's hard to believe. Just pretend I never said anything. Yes, but Auroron's a special case. Mawika already told you about her plan. And you've given so much help to Auroron and me. You deserve to learn the full truth. Auroron's not like other people. As I mentioned, he was abandoned as a child. The reason being, his soul is incomplete. The Masters of the Nightwind view this as a bad omen, capable of bringing about illness and misfortune. No one knows who his parents were. He was just left on a rock in the wilderness. It's a miracle he wasn't devoured by some wild beast. The Masters of the Nightwind believe they can see human souls, and in Auroron's incomplete soul, they saw a possibility for Natlan. A possibility to turn Auroron into a vessel for lost souls. The ceremony would allow lost souls to gather within him. Auroron would then be sent to the Night Kingdom to return the souls to their rightful place, strengthening the ley lines and completing the ceremony. Now you see the problem. When damage occurs to the Night Kingdom, the souls held within disperse and remain adrift, unable to find a way back to the ley lines. This loss of souls damages the Night Kingdom even further. The ceremony can send back countless souls at once, which would benefit the Night Kingdom and the souls themselves. Of course, the vessel, Auroron, would be sacrificed in the process. I wasn't surprised the chief at the time came up with the plan. The ley lines were already in a terrible state. A suitable candidate for the ceremony appears, and now you have the chance to make things better. Of course you're going to take it. When the chief asked for my opinion, I didn't give my approval, but I didn't object either. So they went ahead with the ceremony. It failed, and Auroron escaped with his life. Pathetic, isn't it? By not objecting, I basically gave them the go-ahead. Maybe they didn't have my explicit approval, but it's not like I did the right thing. If the ceremony was successful, Auroron would probably be dead. Of course, in my tribe, death is rarely something to fear. But what kind of message would we be sending by sentencing a newborn to death? By using a human life as a tool? It's not right. So, when I learned the ceremony had failed, I was ashamed by my inaction, and absolutely relieved by the result. The plan was never a secret. Or, I guess I should say, there was no point to keeping it a secret. A simple investigation from Auroron would reveal everything. Everyone thought he would be happy he survived, and he never really said anything to the contrary. But just as I was about to put all of it behind me, he asks this question. Would Natlan have been saved if the ceremony succeeded? He knows that, but he still feels guilty. Auroron has a strong ability to perceive souls, more than any of us. He understands just how dire the situation with ley lines has become. Maybe he chose to work with the Fatui because he still thinks he owes a debt to Natlan. I can only imagine what they told him. Probably drank too much. It's okay. The fresh air is doing me good. Okay, forget that. I need to go home. I hit it a little too hard. You've helped me so much already. How do I even begin to thank you? Good point. Well, I'll go home and get some sleep. We can figure out our next move in the morning. Friends. I like the sound of that. You're already here. I was just about to come get you. Let's not bring up last night. I'm embarrassed about the whole thing. Anyway, I was also woken up by the commotion. Looks like all the warriors from the stadium are on the move. I heard many areas have been attacked by the Abyss, including the Masters of the Nightwind. I need to head back right away.
The Abyss attacked again? Are you sure you can handle it on your own? Do you need our help?
I'll be fine. We also have the support of the warriors stationed at the various outposts. Given the quick response, things shouldn't get too serious. The stadium could always use more manpower, so you should join the forces here. I'm done making excuses for him. He's not a child anymore. He needs to take responsibility for his actions. I was the one who vouched for him, so I need to report back to the Speaker's Chamber. I'll accept however they choose to handle the situation. But I should be able to convince them to let me go back to my tribe first to deal with the attack. As for the ancient name, once we handle this crisis, I'll talk to Shilonen right away. Don't worry, I never forget a promise to a friend. Thank you. All right, I need to start heading back. Ahem. Sorry for popping up out of nowhere, again.
Why do you look so awkward? Oh, is there something you need from us?
Okay, I won't beat around the bush. Oh, and I'm sorry for interrupting your rest. I'll treat you to some charcoal grilled steak to make up for it. Hey, friends don't order each other around. I'm just here to share some news. Remember what we talked about before parting ways? I agree with your hypothesis. And just now, I confirmed it myself. Auroron came back. He helped the Masters of the Nightwind defend our camp. I told him to give up whatever he's doing, but he refused. He said they're just one step away from success, so there's no way he can back out now. Apparently, he came back to fulfill his duty to our tribe. When he left, he said it was because he still has a duty to Natlan as a whole. I had to prioritize my tribe. Besides, the situation was intense. I couldn't focus on outside and inside threats at the same time. Plus, he was on guard. He knew I would try to go after him, so he made sure to keep his distance. I kept an eye out for a good opportunity, but it never came. All these years of calling me Granny, and I couldn't do a single thing for him in the end. You're right. Seeing him come back reminded me of when he was little. Running around the tribe, dropping by random houses right and left. He's not only a child of the Masters of the Nightwind, but a child of Natlan. It's only natural for a child to want to do something for their family. Besides, Auroron is my apprentice. He might have a few tricks up his sleeve, but I guarantee I know every single one.
Wait, what are you saying?
Look, remember how I said Auroron's soul is fragmented? This is the talisman I created to keep it stable, and this gem is what makes the talisman work. It just so happens that Auroron is due for a gem replacement. Since I can't get close to him, I put the new gem in a supply bag and asked Aoife to bring it to him. You guys know Aoife, right? No? Well, he's a pretty famous vet around these parts. He's always bringing me all sorts of things, and he happens to be very good friends with Auroron. Aoife doesn't know what's going on, so he agreed, no questions asked. Auroron would find the gem as soon as he opened the bag. He knows how important it is, so I knew he would make the switch. He probably suspected that I tampered with it. But here's the catch. The trick is on the bag. The moment he touched it, a portion of his memories were copied onto the old gem. which he no longer needed. Most people can't, but I can. That trick he used to bring you to the Night Kingdom isn't anything special, by the way. My technique is much more subtle. He won't notice anything. The kid thinks he can take me on? Like I wasn't the one who taught him everything he knows. Once we get to the bottom of this, we can finally track him down. I know he thinks of me as his grandma, but do you think he'll get mad at me for this? You can be honest. To be honest, I've always doubted my ability to look after him. I didn't stop the ceremony all those years ago, and now I'm useless again. But if I stop here, it will haunt me until I'm 500 years old. Every night I'll wake up in a fit of anger. Yeah, you're right. First anger, then tears. Oh, wait! Who are you calling a crybaby? I need to look at his memory. Even if he resents me, refuses to see me, or runs away for good, I don't care. And I won't blame him. A family does whatever it takes to protect their own. Did you just say you'll come with me? You really mean it? Fine, you can come. Just promise me you'll see this through. No backing out. Got it? Then I place my trust in your professionalism. All right, time to sneak into someone else's memory and engage in some, unwanted spying. You heard it here first. I wouldn't be doing this if I had any other choice. Are you ready? Traveler, Paimon. Are you two alright? Of course. I'm so mad at him. After everything, he still can't let go of the past. For some reason, he thinks he owes something to the people who cared for him. Stubborn, self-righteous fool. Where's that gonna get him? Now that he's all grown up, he thinks no one can tell him what to do? He thinks he can just run away whenever he wants. I'll show him. If he tries to run one more time, he's got another thing coming. Is that supposed to be a compliment? That kid's got nothing on me. Anyway, back to what we just saw. I don't even know what to make of it. The Loom of Fate? Which means the captain has been honest from the very beginning. Auroron's memory proves that. Yes, she needs to know about this. Now. Calm down, Paimon. I'll take it from here. All right. I understand where I'm needed. I'll head out right away. I'll leave him to you all then. Done spacing out, Auroron? Did you finish your homework?
Yes.
Of course not. I'm a special case. Other shamans study their whole lives without reaching a fraction of my abilities. You could say that. Or maybe I've just been alive longer than the rest of them, and picked up a few tricks that they didn't want to touch. It's rude to bring up a woman's age. Never do that again, no matter the circumstances. Anyway, class is canceled tomorrow. Go have fun. Do what you want. What use is it being as strong as me anyway? You've seen how the tribe treats me. They're all afraid. I try to go about my business, and they practically tremble in fear. Not the most fun way to go about living one's life, I'd say. Take it from me. The happiest people are the ones who do their own thing. So do what you want, Auroron. No matter what anyone else has to say.
Great.
Take it from me. The happiest people are the ones who do their own thing. So do what you want, Auroron. No matter what anyone else has to say.
But as I was on the brink of death, My wish for life and purpose was rekindled.
Auroron. You know exactly what you did. You need some sense knocked into you, that's what I think. Now, where do I even begin? Now that you have nowhere to run, that's when you apologize? You couldn't wait to run off last time, and the time before that. What exactly were you thinking? Being a wanted criminal is one thing, but then you also tried to pull off that whole thing in the ancient ruin. I'm not the one who needs an apology. Apologize to yourself for risking your life. You better be sincere. This is an incredibly serious matter. You're welcome. Just make sure to thank Aoife sometime. Anyway, don't feel too grateful. I tampered with the bag to copy a portion of your memories.
Oh.
Of course you didn't. You forget how many years I have on you. Like you could uncover one of my tricks. Anyway, I have something else to tell you. The Pyro Archon has discussed your case with the others. Many of your actions violated the rules of Natlan, and you should understand you'll have to take responsibility for that. But your efforts weren't entirely meaningless in the end. In addition to giving us another failsafe, you saved yourself with sheer force of will, and managed to become a hero. Huh. Not too shabby, grandson. What? No! I said that because I mean it! You're not off the hook just yet. I told the Traveler I was going to break your legs, and I meant every part of it. Trying to negotiate, are you? Alright. Make me an offer. Fine. I can let this slide for now. But I'll be watching. We'll see if I change my mind. Oh, Traveler, Paimon. Didn't expect to see you here. Yes. Looking after these little rascals is rather exhausting. Let's get together sometime. If Auroron really wants to thank you, he can treat us all to a tasty meal. You ready?
Yep.
So, this is where you heard the Lord of the Night? Guess that means she really has awakened. Hopefully we made it before she falls asleep again. So, it's true. Forging an ancient name consumes the life of the craftsman. So, you know about that too. I've had concerns for a long time. Malika's plan needs too much time, and too many things can go wrong. The Masters of the Night Wind have a ceremony that can be used to glimpse the future. It's just... using this power on the Pyro Archon has always been seen as a taboo. And death. I can't just ignore what I saw. That's why I need the Traveler's power. I need the power of a Descender. Malika knows about all this, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Well, I can't. She's so strong. She never gives up, never rests until a problem is solved. She's not the type of person to just quietly accept her death. The Traveler shares that quality. That's why I think this gamble is worth it. Together, I know they can overcome the impossible. Be it fate or death. We won't forget your contributions. Once we deal with the Abyss, we'll find a way to keep you alive. Exactly. Just keep it with you during your time in Natlan, and eventually it'll be full of your adventures. It's not a concrete medium. It reflects the Lord of the Night's will, and shows what she wants you to see. Could this also be some kind of omen? If things continue like this, then... Understood. I'll leave right away. Auroron! Leave the vegetables and aphids behind, you dimwit! It's too dangerous. Masters of the Night Wind are also safe. Should I go support the Flower Feather clan? Hey, Traveler, Paimon. There you are. I've been looking all over for you. Oh! Listen up. I have something really important to tell you. Natlan must pay the price for Malika's use of the Ruler of Death's power. That price is death. And only Malika's death can clear the debt. I had thought that the ruler of death might have a change of heart after seeing the people of Natlan come together and fight so bravely. But even now that the war's over and the threat to Natlan is gone, it looks like that death is still set in stone. I had to know your thoughts. I want to save her, but I can't do it alone. Okay, good. That makes me feel a little better. Thank you for standing up for us. There's clearly something special about you, so if anyone has a chance of defying the rules, that would be you. Oh, and please don't breathe a word of this to Mawika. I'm sure she's well aware of the cost of using the Divine Throne's power. But if she finds out that anyone else knows, it could ruin our chances to help.
Good.
Alright, that was the last major item on my to-do list. Now, since I've come all this way, I think it's finally time for a well-earned drink. Don't worry, I said a drink. That means just one.